Alright, this is pretty exciting. What we have here is an Adventure Ration-Pack from Black Dog Surplus. Not to be confused with an MRE, this is slightly different, and we'll get into the reasons for that. Despite the fact that I did name this an MRE review, there will be a few things that differentiate these from standard MREs. So Black Dog Bob off of MREinfo.com recently sent this along to me to review. You may have seen some of these on Gundog 4314's channel, and what it is, this is basically Black Dog Bob's own company. These aren't commercial MREs put out by one of the three companies that makes genuine MREs, and they're not one of the established commercial companies that we've already seen, like XMRE and Meal Kit Supply. Black Dog Bob runs Black Dog Survival School, and what he's done is he's taken his interest in rations, especially international rations, and all of his experience with survival situations, and he's created his own ration pack. Actually, it's a line of ration packs. I should mention that these can be found at blackdogsurplus.net, and that's mainly for large supplies, but you can also find them at custommre.com. As I mentioned, Gundog has done a couple of these. I'm going to put links to his videos down below. He's done a 24-hour mountain ration for Black Dog Surplus, and he's also done something incredibly exciting, basically an MRE review, but it's an MRE that we haven't seen yet. It's the Pepperoni Pizza. So Black Dog Bob actually managed to beat the genuine US MREs to the punch with the pizza. As I said, this is similar to an MRE. You can see if we compare them side by side, it has a very, very similar look to a standard US MRE, both in bag color and bag design. This is one of the three designs, but it's pretty much the most similar to the Black Dog Bob ones. But you'll notice that this is not called an MRE, it's called an Adventure Ration-Pack. It does have some stuff down here about being ready to eat, but we'll get into the point of that. One of the minor differences you can kind of see here is that the bag is a little bit larger. It goes up a little bit further and has a little bit more room inside of it. Part of the reason an MRE is a meal ready to eat, the Black Dog Survival Adventure Ration Packs, this one is an 8-hour modular ration, which means it's one meal, similar to an MRE, but they also make 24-hour rations that go into these same bags. So that's one of the differences that you have, and one of the options that Black Dog Surplus offers. You can get individual meals, or you can get 24-hour meals. Another difference is that the meals aren't necessarily ready to eat. One of the things that they're going to do, as you can kind of tell by the name custommre.com, they're going to be offering you custom MREs, which you can customize however you want. You can have your own entrees in here, you can have your own sides, your own desserts, your own drinks. You can pick them, and you can even customize the bag to make it your own bag. We've seen this with Gundog 4314 and a few other people who have already gotten some of the custom ones at this point. So standard US MREs have 24 menus. Once they really get things rolling with the custom stuff here, you can have pretty much an infinite amount of menus. They're going to have a lot of different entrees. They're going to have some interesting stuff like I've seen Tuscan beef, some halal entrees, stuff like shepherd's pie, one of my favorites, bangers and mash. Just all kinds of stuff you don't see in regular MREs, and the stuff that you do see in MREs too, like spaghetti and meat sauce. And standard kind of things. And then the last thing I want to mention before opening this up is the big difference and the reason why this isn't MRE, meal ready to eat, besides the fact that it could be 3 meals in a 24-hour ration, is that there are ready-to-eat entrees and there's also freeze-dried entrees. And this one just happens to be an 8-hour modular ration freeze-dried. It's menu number 2, chicken and rice. And the other exciting thing about this is that I received this at the end of January 2018. I'm filming this in early February 2018. And this actually has a date of production on it of January 2018. Incredibly fresh. So we can see some information down here. We have the website, blackdogsurplus.net. And as I said, you can also go to custommre.com as Black Dog's email and phone. And it says complete meal, ready to eat. Obviously there will be freeze-dried components in here. And it has a flameless ration warning similar to the genuine US MREs. So this does not have a date code on it, but the sticker, which gives you the menu number, the type of ration it is, the entree, also gives you the date of production, as I mentioned. So let's go ahead and not waste any more time and check out what's inside of this 8-hour Adventure Ration-Pack. You have a peelable seal, genuine MRE, and here we go. There's stuff in here. As I said, this is new, and I believe at some point they're going to probably have more customized packaging on some of the inside components. You can see right now there's a lot of different colors and some like standard MRE components and some white labels, all different kinds of things. But basically, here we have our entree. It's actually in 2 separate pouches. We have instant white rice, freeze-dried, and we have chicken crumbles, freeze-dried. So another thing that's going to be interesting about these Black Dog surplus meals is that they're going to be actually very customizable even once you open them up. Standard MREs have their entrees, and I think they've done a very good job of trying to insert all kinds of different kinds of comfort food and familiar things to US soldiers. But to be honest, sometimes you might not like the flavor of some of these dishes. These are going to be incredibly simple dishes. This is just white rice and chicken crumbles. So on the surface, this looks like it's going to be a pretty boring, pretty bland kind of an MRE or ration. And that's by design. Because what they're going to do is they're also going to give you different flavorings that you can use to basically customize this as you want it. We have soy sauce, which you can put into the chicken and rice to give it a Asian flavor. And we also have a pizza packet to give it an Italian kind of a flavor. And inside the accessory pack here, you can see we have hot sauce, and there's also salt and pepper. So there's a lot of different things that you can do to make it how you want it to be. So that's our entree. We also have shelf-stable whole wheat bread. Wow, it's thick. This is not like a wheat snack bread. This is from Bridgeford. And it has a date code on it of 7085, so the 85th day of 2017. And actually, these entree pouches have a different date of production code. They actually give you the date, January 23rd, 2018, on both of these. So these are about as fresh as you can get. And they're freeze-dried, too. These are going to last a lot longer than standard MRE retort pouches, which last about 3 to 5 years. Since these are freeze-dried, you can expect these to last probably 20 years. And we also have, for dessert, we have some oatmeal cookies. And this is MRE Star branded. So we have Bridgeford, we have these black pouches here, we have various commercial seasonings, and we have MRE Star products in here, and standard MRE products, and more MRE Star. So eventually, I think these are going to be all branded so that they're all from the company. But we have oatmeal cookies, a dried fruit mix. Let's see what it's going to include. Banana chips, and papaya, and pineapple, looks like. That should be good. We have chunky peanut butter. Nice touch. And standard MRE peanut butter. And for a drink, we have lemonade flavored drink mix from MRE Star. We also have another extra little flavoring thing here. We have nectar honey crystals. Honey without sticky mess. That's pretty cool. And we have a little bag of survival tabs, or energy tabs. So we'll try those out too. These are going to give you a bunch of extra nutrients. And we have a commercial accessory pack. This is from MRE Star. It has the MRE Star napkin in it. And we have deep rich coffee. We do have regular sugar and a creamer. And we also have some salt and pepper. We have the hot sauce that I mentioned. A little pack of Smarties candies, I guess instead of gum. And a moist towelette. And a black plastic spoon. And I should also mention, one thing I'm forgetting is actually an information sheet here. This tells you it's an 8-hour freeze-dried modular ration, and it gives you all the different menus. We have menu number 2. All menus contain approximately 1,400 calories. So I think it's possible if there's a few nutrients that you're not getting through this, you can make it up with these energy tabs. Alright, so here's everything that we're getting in this Black Dog Surplus Adventure Ration-Pack 8-hour modular ration. One thing that seems to be missing is a way to heat this up. Basically, you're gonna use hot water, so it's just a matter of heating hot water. I know the 24-hour rations actually come with a stove and some fuel. And I believe that the ready-to-eat meals that come with the ready-to-eat entrees in the retort pouches, those come with flameless ration heaters. So with this one, we'll just go ahead and boil some water to make up the rice and chicken. Alright, we'll start off by preparing our entree. In this case, it's 2 pouches, the white rice and the chicken crumbles, both freeze-dried. Interesting packaging. So one thing I noticed about these, as I said, most likely they're going to have more personalized pouches in the future that'll have probably a different color, and they'll have all the information on here. Right now it's just a simple sticker that tells you what it is, and it actually, one thing that's kind of surprising, US MREs generally have, for the most part, U.S. foods required to have this, but it actually doesn't have the ingredients. There obviously isn't a lot to this. This is rice. I mean, that's basically the ingredient, and this is chicken. So you kind of don't really need it, but it doesn't have the ingredients or the nutritional information on here. But basically it tells you to add 8 ounces of boiling water to the rice. We'll do that, and you can see it's just basically instant rice in there. And these do have nice gusseted bottoms, so these can stand up on their own. Zip the bag back up. I'm going to give it a little shake just to make sure we get, yeah, that's not a problem. It's a pretty simple dish, just rice. And the rice is only going to need 4 ounces of boiling water. Oh, I'm sorry, did I say rice? I meant the chicken. Chicken is going to take 4 ounces. And some freeze-dried chicken. It kind of looks like freeze-dried beef. Ground beef. And I think there's going to be extra water in there, so we'll probably pour that off. Just 4 ounces to reconstitute it. And then we have our rice and our chicken. We'll let those reconstitute and check out the rest of the components. And we'll check out the dried fruit mix. And yeah, basically that's banana, papaya, and pineapple. There's the oatmeal cookies. And they're actually intact. It's nice. We have 4 good-sized cookies here. It smells good. It smells very similar to a standard MRE oatmeal cookie, and there's nothing wrong with that. We have our Bridgeford shelf-stable whole wheat bread. I'm interested to see what this looks like. Best used by, actually, it has a best used by on it. It has, I think I mentioned, it has a 7085. Looks like a 85th day of 2017 date code, but it has a best used too, May 15th, 2020. And yes, this is actually quite nice compared to, obviously anybody who eats a lot of MREs eats a lot of wheat snack bread. And this is slightly different, which is nice. It feels a little bit more like bread. It's still very dense. I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut this in half, because I kind of want to make a peanut butter sandwich out of it. But you can see that definitely does look more like bread. As I said, it's still a dense product. It's a shelf-stable product. And it kind of has that sort of not so natural kind of a smell to it. I don't want to say chemical, but almost a little bit like a chemical kind of smell. But I definitely think this is going to be a step up from wheat snack bread. And we have the chunky peanut butter for that. I'm going to give this a good knead. You can feel some of the peanuts in there, the chunks. Still some more left in there, but I think that's enough for a sandwich. And since the coffee does come with cream and sugar, I'm going to go ahead and use some of this Nectar honey crystals on my peanut butter sandwich, but I do want to try it first as it is, and then we'll put some of this on there too and sweeten it up. I recently did a Canadian IMP, and they include honey with that, and I did have a peanut butter honey sandwich, and it was very good. I forgot, I'm going to put these nutrition tablets, I'm going to put those on the plate too, and we'll try those when we try the food. Got a little bit of a sweetness to the smell, kind of like a chocolate, kind of maybe a malted chocolate sort of a flavor. I'll also put the Smarties in here. And I suppose that would be a good place to store our seasonings and flavorings for our main. I'm going to be trying most of that stuff out too. And that just leaves us with a couple of beverages to make. We have our lemonade flavored drink mix, which takes 12 ounces of water. So I have the water right here. So I'm making this to be a little bit different from the standard MRE ones because they have the lemon lime beverage, and this is actually a lemonade drink mix. It's always nice to have something a little bit different. And that leaves us with our coffee. I'll go ahead and put the creamer and sugar into that. And could certainly put some of this honey into the coffee too. It probably wouldn't be a bad taste either. And that just leaves us with our mains, the chicken and rice. And I can feel right away that the rice is really fluffed up, and this is a heavy package. With a standard MRE, with a ready-to-eat entree, you're going to get 8 ounces. This doesn't exactly say how much it is, but we've added 8 ounces of water to the rice that you can see in there. So there's going to be a good amount of rice in here. And I certainly could have added some of these flavorings before I added the water, and it would have been all infused in there, but I want to try it on its own and see just how bland it may be, and what happens when we add some flavorings to it. So as you can see, that's a nice pile of rice right there. I think if there was any question about this ration giving you enough food, this kind of dispels that question right there. Now, the chicken, it definitely smells like chicken now. And has a lot of extra water. So I'm going to go ahead and just drain this water off, and we'll add the chicken to the rice. Alright, and I decided to do that as a matter of choice, but there's no reason why you have to drain the water. You certainly could have a chicken and rice soup type of a thing. There's a lot of rice here. I think I left a little bit of the water just to give it a little bit of juiciness in there. So it's kind of a nice touch. I mean, there are, I believe there's cold weather rations and long range patrol rations that have chicken and rice as a meal. I think it's an Oriental chicken and rice. And obviously it's one pouch that has the chicken and the rice and all the other ingredients inside of it. And of course in this case you're getting the chicken and the rice separately, and you put them together. So it turns out not only are you getting a lot of rice, but you're getting a good amount of chicken too. It didn't really look like a lot in the package, but once you reconstitute it and put it on top of here, it's a pretty good amount. We'll go ahead and try this out as it is, and then we'll flavor it up. Let me try some of this chicken and rice. I mean, that's what it is. It's chicken and it's rice. And it's definitely bland. Plain chicken and plain rice. Definitely think it could use some salt. Let's try some of that over here. And just give it a little bit of a kick with that. And that instantly does a lot for it. A lot of MRE entrees are very salty. This actually isn't, because you're going to add whatever you want, customize it however you want it. But just adding a little bit of salt really does a lot. We got the pepper there too. I'm going to put some of the soy sauce on here so we can give it a bit of an Asian kind of a flavor. I'm going to kind of keep these separate though so we can try it in a bunch of different ways. As I said, we could have added the soy sauce before we heated it, and then it would really be in there, really be kind of infused in there. But let's see how it is here. Yep, that does what you expect it to do. Gives it that that soy flavor. Also pretty salty. Now, this is a pizza packet, but basically it's Italian spice. So let's see if we can Italian this up a little bit too. And I suppose you could put all these things together and make one overall dish. It's pretty strong. There you can smell the oregano and basil. I'll put that over here. And there's some pizza flavored chicken and rice. You know, I'm going to actually put a little bit of salt with that too, because in general, this does need a little bit of salt. Let's try this. Yeah, that gives it a completely different flavor. It may seem kind of weird, but let's try them all together. I think I'd go with one or the other. And we do still have the hot sauce. I'm not really a big hot sauce person, but since we have it, we could at least try this out. So this isn't Tabasco, it's just MRE Star hot sauce, salsa picante. Put some of that down here. And obviously, this is going to give it another whole dimension. Which is obviously going to be welcomed by many people. And let's get some nice kick to it. Taste the, you can taste some vinegar in there. Chili peppers, vinegar, and salt. That's the ingredients. So, it's kind of a complicated dish to talk about, despite how simple it is. It's complicated because it's so simple. So what they're giving you is they're giving you rice and chicken. It's not a dish that includes rice and chicken and has all kinds of flavorings. It's basically just chicken and rice. And to be honest, that's pretty boring on its own. But that's why they give you all these extra things, so you can dress it up however you want it. And I think this is probably my favorite. And to me, that's really cool. Instead of having an MRE entree and saying, well, you know, I like chicken, but I don't really like spicy stuff. I don't really like it, you know, like southern kind of flavor. I don't really like oriental. Instead, you take it almost as though you're cooking your own food. You take the rice and you take the chicken, and then you add whatever you want to it. And as you can see, there's a lot of it. The rice perfectly reconstituted. It's not crunchy at all. It just tastes like a good instant white rice. And chicken, the same thing, constituted perfect. It's not crunchy. It's not chewy. It just tastes like bits of chicken. So overall, very good. I really can't complain about that. I mean, I like the convenience of opening up an MRE entree pouch and just eating it right out of there, having it already all flavored. But as I said, if the flavoring isn't to your liking, you're kind of up the creek. This way, it just gives you a lot more options on your own. Another thing I forgot to really talk about is the spoon. There's nothing wrong with it. It seems to be a pretty good spoon, but it's a little bit smaller than an MRE spoon, and maybe just a little bit less hardy. I don't think it's going to break or anything. If the package is a rough handle or something, you're rolling around in your rucksack or whatever, it could be an issue. But I don't think there's anything wrong with the spoon. I'll try some of the other stuff here. We'll wash that down with some of the coffee. It seems to be a perfectly serviceable instant coffee. It's the Deep and Rich, which we've seen in a lot of meal kit supply MREs and a lot of the other commercial ones. Nothing wrong with that. And try the dry fruit mix. Get a little bit of everything here. Some of these papaya, pineapple, and banana chips. Banana chips give it a crunch. And then the papaya and the pineapple give it a nice, almost a juicy kind of a flavor. Overall, it's a really nice mix. It's kind of a nice change from like a nut raisin mix. You don't see these in standard MREs. I know XMRE used to have a mix that was a lot like this. And then they changed and they put larger chunks of things in there. I really like it like this, where everything's diced up nice and small. And I do want to try one of these nutrition tablets. Ingredients: fat, protein, carbohydrates, iron, and 2% from milk solids. And it's kind of like a malted milk, I was say ball, but malted milk tab. Not a ton of flavor. It seems to have a slight bit of an overtone of like chocolate. It has a little crunch to it, but it's also kind of melts in your mouth. And here's what you're getting in this. Getting a lot of 100%. So it's a nice little supplement there. Let's try another one of these. I think you could just let them melt in your mouth if you wanted to, but they're not too hard, so it's not really a big deal biting into them. Yeah, a good way to get a whole bunch of extra nutrients. Pretty painless. I'm going to try some of the lemonade. Yeah, that's actually very tasty. The standard lemon lime beverage, it is a standard, and you get really used to it. You can get a little sick of it. I've always liked it, but it's the same thing all the time. It's kind of nice that this is just lemonade. And it really does kind of, despite being a powdered artificial drink, it does taste like lemonade, which is what you're looking for. I'm going to try the oatmeal cookie. It's got some nice crunch to it. Very good. Nice and crisp. It's not hard. That's got a good bite to it. And kind of like with the MRE oatmeal cookies, it's sweet, but not overly so. It's just it's a nice treat. And it does kind of beg for a little bit of the peanut butter. I don't have a lot left, but I'm going to try it with that too. Very good. And that actually tastes a lot like those Girl Scout cookies, the peanut butter sandwich ones. Tastes a lot like it. And that just leaves us with our wheat bread. I've kind of saved this for last. Oh, a little bit of chicken hiding under here. So we have the wheat bread with the chunky peanut butter. I'll try the bread first. As I said, it does have a bit of a kind of a chemical smell coming off of it. It's not like you're eating wheat bread. But as I had predicted, it's definitely a step up from wheat snack bread. It's weird. It has sort of a sweetness to it that you don't really expect, and it's not really a natural kind of a taste. But let's try it with the chunky peanut butter. Not surprisingly, it's a great addition. And kind of covers up that chemical. It feels more like you're just eating bread with peanut butter on it. Whereas when you're just eating the bread, you're sort of like, what is that extra taste that I'm getting out of there? But like wheat snack bread with peanut butter, it makes you very thirsty. And then the last thing to do is to turn this into a sandwich. And I tried it as it is, and you do have a little bit of crunch with those peanuts in there, which is nice. But I want to add a little bit of this honey crystals. Let's see how that goes. So since this is dry, it's going to be a little bit different than the IMP that I had. That had the honey, but it should be interesting. Got a pretty good amount on there, and I think it probably would soften up a little bit if this sat for a while. But let me give it a try, right as it is. Yeah, it is a pretty. It's kind of flying under the radar, the flavor. I'm tasting the honey, but not as much as if it was just honey spread on there. And I'm getting just a little bit of a crunch from the crystals. It's kind of an undercurrent of a flavor. It's not really right out there. I think I might actually add some more. Yeah, I'll probably add a little bit more to that. Give it a little bit more of the honey flavor. But this is nice, and it's nice having something that's not wheat snack bread. It's pretty cool. So you have plenty of stuff with your entree. There really is more than enough food to eat there. But then you have this whole side, if you make it into a sandwich, this whole side sandwich too. And then if you had Smarties, you know what to expect from those. I'm going to save these for my kids. I'm big fans of Smarties. But it's kind of nice. It gives you almost like having like a mint or something instead of having gum. And so that was a look at a Black Dog Surplus Adventure Ration-Pack. It was menu number 2, an 8-hour modular ration freeze-dried. Chicken and rice, date of production, January 2018. It was an overall excellent meal. It's pretty cool how it's different. It has a lot of similarities to MREs, a lot of differences, a lot of customization, just a really cool product. So, thank you for watching. And a couple of final things to mention. I did end up adding some pepper. I mean, it is in here, so I put some pepper in here too. For me, this dish, all it really needed was the salt. I'm happy with it. Just plain white rice, plain chicken with just some salt in it. But the pepper does add an extra dimension. So you have the pepper, you have the hot sauce, you have the soy sauce, and you have the pizza sauce or Italian seasoning. And as I mentioned, the oatmeal cookie with the peanut butter, it's a lot like the Girl Scout peanut butter sandwich cookies. And since I have 2 Girl Scouts in the family, we just happen to have peanut butter sandwich cookies here. Which is why I think that flavor really came through for me when I bit into this. Thanks for watching.